Hi, welcome back to my channel. Last week, I was speaking with someone in my Patreon community, my online practice community. Her name is Tammy. And Tammy was telling me that she loves her yoga practice. She's getting lots of benefit, but she has challenge with lying down postures because every time she lies down on her back, she gets a sharp pain in her low back. And as you know, yoga should be practiced with the yoga philosophy concept of ahimsa, non-harm. And so if anything is painful in the yoga practice, we should change it so that it works better for your body. So I told Tammy that I was going to work on this video for her. And then this week, I spoke with another person who practices with my Zoom classes. Her name is Vanessa. And guess what? She told me that she also can't practice lying down postures right now due to pain in her back. So I thought this video is really needed, and that's why I'm recording it for you today. So if you're a person who is enjoying your yoga practice, but you're having a bit of challenge with the lying down postures, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to modify 5 common lying down postures that I teach toward the end of my practices. And we're going to modify them from lying to sitting so that you can learn how to do that and take this new knowledge so that you can modify any yoga practice to make it work well for your body. My name is Zelinda, and I specialize in teaching yoga so that people with all kinds of bodies can participate and benefit. Let's get started. We'll be converting all of these typical lying down postures to a sitting version. So at the point in the yoga practice where I cue, go ahead and move to lying down on your back. You instead will grab a chair, and you'll want a sturdy chair. It should not have wheels, something that's not going to slide. And for all of these postures, something that they have in common is that you're going to want to sit up toward the front edge of your chair. Generally, you're going to bend your knees in such a way that your ankles are below your knees. Your toes are, of course, reaching forward, and your feet can be a little bit wide so you feel very sturdy and stable in your foundation here. And then once you have all of this bottom part set up, go ahead and lengthen your spine and relax your shoulders. All right, so that's what you're going to do when I say now move to lying down on the floor. You do this instead. Now let's start looking at some specific postures. First, let's look at the posture where we're lying down on the floor on our backs. Knees are bent, feet are in a wide position. Typically, we stretch our arms out toward the sides, and we bring the knees from side to side. So the sitting version of that, you're going to set up your sitting posture just like I described a minute ago. And this time you're going to take your feet out even a little bit wider than usual. You can lengthen your spine and you can keep your hands resting on your knees. And then when I start to cue, bring your knees to the left, you can do the exact same thing right here on your chair. So the knees come all the way over toward the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, and you can keep going like this. And since you're bringing your knees as far as they'll comfortably go, you probably will find that you're going to roll up onto the edges of your feet, and that is perfectly fine. And as you're doing this, you'll feel lots of very similar benefits to as if you were doing it on the floor, but you won't have the pain in your back or the pain in whatever area of your body is causing you to want to do this in a sitting position rather than lying. All right, so that's that one. Let's look at another posture. Now let's look at figure 4, which is another posture that I teach very frequently. In figure 4, we start typically by lying down on our backs, and we bend the knees and we cross one ankle over the other knee. And then depending on your body, you might choose to keep one foot down on the floor, or you may choose to bring your legs up towards your chest. This posture is beneficial for stretching out around the hips, so you may feel stretching in the sides of your thighs or in your glutes or sometimes in the back of the thighs. Also great for relaxing the back. And guess what? We can absolutely do this sequence in a sitting down position. So the way you do it is you establish your comfortable and stable sitting position, And then you cross one ankle over the other knee, just like that. If this feels too tight, you have options. You can walk your foot forward, or you can also lean back, especially if you have a chair that has a back on it. If you feel like you want to add intensity to this one, what you do actually is fold forward. And so you can move into this seated figure 4, and you can stay here, however long you need to stay here. And then you can easily switch over to the other side, and you'll get all of the same benefits that you get when you do this one in a lying down position. Now let's talk about bridge pose. So bridge pose is another lying down posture. Typically we do it with the knees bent, the arms extended down alongside the body. And I teach this in a pretty conservative and versatile way, where normally I cue first to just engage the glutes and the hamstrings and relax. So it's inhale, activate or engage your glutes and hamstrings, exhale, relax. And then after a couple of rounds, I typically start to give the option of lifting the hips up toward the ceiling if it's comfortable for your body. And we do a couple of rounds like that. Sometimes I even cue to lift the hips higher with each repetition. So there's many ways that you can practice this. And guess what? We can also do this in a sitting down position. It'll be maybe slightly different than the lying down version, but the benefits will be very much the same. So what you'll do is start from your comfortable and stable sitting position. You can rest your hands on your knees. And so with this one, what we'll do is on inhale, activate your glutes and hamstrings from your sitting position. Exhale and relax. Inhale, activate, exhale, relax. And this is the way that we can practice bridge pose from a sitting position. We get the same benefits of strengthening in the glutes and the hamstrings. We won't be lifting the hips up because we can't do that from the sitting position, but we will get lots of benefit from doing the bridge pose in this way. There's a core strengthening sequence that I often teach from a lying down position. And so there's a couple of different ways that I teach this. One is with the knees bent and one is with the legs straight. Knees bent is the gentler version and legs straight is the stronger version. And the way the sequence goes is inhale, bring your arms up and back. Exhale, legs come up or knees come up while the arms come down. Then inhale, feet rest down while the arms go back. Exhale, the arms move up toward the ceiling and down. And sometimes I also teach this one leg at a time. So we do, for example, lift the left leg and set it down, finish the whole sequence, and then we shift over to the right side and we do, bring the leg up, bring the leg down. And so we work like that, one side at a time. And we can absolutely do this from a sitting position as well. So the way you do it is, of course, find your comfortable and stable sitting position. And from sitting, it's actually quite difficult to lift up both legs at the same time. So what I would suggest that you do instead is practice the one-legged version. And so the way that this will go is inhale, bring your arms forward and up. Exhale, left leg comes up while the arms come down. Focus on your abdominal muscles. Then inhale, foot comes down while arms go back. Exhale, just the arms come down. And then you can switch over to the right side. Inhale, arms up and back. Exhale, knee up, arms down. Inhale, foot down, arms back. Exhale, arms forward and down. So just like that, you can see that my cueing will be a little bit odd if you're doing this in a sitting position, because if we're lying down, I'm cueing to bring the arms back, but actually if you're sitting, you're bringing your arms up. But you'll get the idea, and it's absolutely possible to work on your core strengthening in this way, doing one leg at a time. And actually, I'd like to show you a second option that you can also work on if you want to. So if you feel that it would be more beneficial for you to work on both legs at the same time, what I would suggest is elevating up onto your toes, so lifting your heels up, focusing on engaging your abs to support that movement. So in this case, the sequence would go like this. Inhale, the arms move forward and up. exhale, engage your abs, lift your knees, lift your heels while your arms go down. Inhale, heels down, arms go back or up, and then exhale, your arms go forward and down. So you have two different ways that you can practice this core strengthening sequence from a sitting position. Let's look at one more. Toward the end of the yoga practice, I usually include a reclining twist. And so for this one, we move from lying on our backs to lying on our sides. And I ask you to bend your knees and bring them in front of you and extend your arms out in front as well, with one arm stacked on top of the other. From there, I typically say inhale and bring the top arm up toward the ceiling and back. And so you move into a big twist that is beneficial for stretching out all the muscles in your back. You may also feel some stretching happening in your pelvis, in your legs sometimes, and very often in your shoulders and in the chest as well. So we can get a lot of the same benefits by doing a twist from a sitting position. And the way you do that is, of course, start from your comfortable and stable sitting position. Make sure that your feet are well anchored and your heels or your ankles are under your knees. And then the way we'll do this is on inhale, you're going to lengthen your spine. And then on exhale, you can twist toward one side. And you're going to bring whichever direction you're twisting toward, bring that hand just a little bit behind you, and you can rest it on the seat of your chair. Or you can also rest it kind of like on the side of the chair, just depending on the design of your chair and what's comfortable for you. And the other hand, you're going to keep it on the same side knee. So once you move into this twist, you have a couple of options. You can stay right here, or you could even turn your head more and look out over your shoulder. And you can stay here however long we're staying in the twist. You're going to want to, of course, breathe well while you're doing this. And if you want to think about a little bit more detail here, you can think about on inhale, lengthen your spine, and on exhale, perhaps relax your back and try to twist a tiny bit deeper. It's important to note here that my arms and your arms should be passive. We're not trying to crank ourselves into this twist. Rather, they're just here for support. So as you're inhaling and lengthening and then exhaling and relaxing and twisting, all of that is driven by your core muscles, your abdominal muscles, and the muscles in your back. So whenever we're finished on the one side and we are coming out of it, we'll do inhale and come back to the center. And then just take a tiny little pause before you continue to the other side, and we're going to do the same. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and twist. If you want to, you can turn your head to look out over your shoulder. Remember to keep your arms passive. One hand is behind you. The other hand is on the same side knee. Inhales, you're lengthening your spine. Exhales, relaxing the muscles in your back and perhaps twisting a little bit deeper. When you're finished on inhale, you can return to the center. And then usually it's a good idea to do a little bit of counter pose after a twist. So you can do a seated cat and cow if you want to. That will be a good counter pose after the seated version of twist. I'll probably teach some other kind of counter pose after the lying version of twist. But now you know what you can do to do twist and keep your body comfortable while gaining benefit from the practice. I hope this information has been really helpful for you and that you're able to take this new knowledge and apply it to any of my videos so that you can make the modifications that you need to keep your body comfortable so that you can continue gaining benefit from your yoga practice. If you have any requests about other lying down postures that you can't figure out how to modify, please leave me a note in the comments and I would be happy to get back with you about that. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. I hope that you're gaining a whole lot of benefit from your yoga practice. If you're interested in information about more ways that you can work with me, please see the link in the description box below. I'll see you next time.